So when you ever notice if you have a big crescendo or something, you hit the amp real hard, like the lights will dim,
Yep.
the amp kind of goes down a little bit, doesn't quite have full power. So the sag is trying to imitate that.
I gotcha.
So it's kind of an interesting little circuit in there, but we should be able to notice a difference between, you know, no sag and full sag.
I did see, and it seemed like it took a second to kick in as well. It wasn't instantaneous. It was
Right.
through a natural response of what I think it's doing. It's basically like you're playing, when that's all the way up, it's like you're playing on a big cloud. And it's just soft and just cushiony.
There you go.
And everything's
That's
just warm and big. There's no attack and bite per se.
Right.
It's all tone and warmth. So you're on a big cloud is what it feels like.
I think that's, you got it nailed.
Yeah.
So. Then of course the wattage control is just output power, and we put it all the way down. I heard you a minute ago. Put it down to 0, and it's about half a watt. You know,
and you kick that in, you get that. That's just big, natural, pure.
That's almost no power, right? I don't know, sag or not. Probably this doesn't have any effect when we're way down here.
I can feel it. I can hear it. It's almost like it comes out of dreamland. It comes back into somewhere present right here. There's consistency. It's right there. You go down, it just softens up. There's ever so tiniest bit of delay between the pick and when it's actually coming out. Now it just kind of takes a second to swoosh out.
Right, there you go. Very good.
Everything else is basic, tone, standard, and it just has a 2.
Oh, now there's something else. This is a pull tone pod.
Oh,
and they describe it as, forget what the 2 amp models were, but like Tweed and another Fender.
Remember, I had a quad reverb that had the push-pull master volume and all this. That's kind
Yeah,
of the
this is,
same idea,
again, it's a little different.
Uh-huh.
So if we put it up on something, you know, 3 and 8 where you had it or so, and we pull this now. One's like, I guess a Tweed, and the other's a Deluxe or something.
Oh, I see.
And again, it changes the feedback in the amplifier. And one has a little bit more frequency response and less gain, and the other one's more gainy but less frequencies.
Yeah, this is. So I'm curious what this responds with.
Instruction manual says it'll take basically any kind of power tube you want. EL34, 6550, the 6L6 I have in here. You could put in the 5881s, and so you have a wide range of tone
What you want,
variants
sure.
based on the output tube you put in there.
You know what I hear when we pop that out, I hear the 6550. Got a little bit more present tone than the L34 kind of idea.
Right.
Imagine the L34, something a little softer in this, would just. I couldn't imagine it more dreamier.
I mean, we could spend the rest of our life, you know,
just
experimenting
swap
with this now.
Yeah.
My main challenge was to make it go again. 'cause
Sure.
it,
What do you think was the problem?
Yeah, the 2 problems I found were broken wires underneath the circuit board. That was what was taking out the instrument channel, was a broken wire. So that was really quite simple once we figured out how to look for it. The more challenging part was, of course, finding this little resistor, this little one that has the designation number R610610, and this resistor takes a reference voltage from this IC chip. This is a 723 regulator IC. Takes that reference voltage, plugs it into this IC chip, and this is kind of the heart of the whole sag circuit. But it required some bias to bring its level up so that it could control the output devices. These devices are in control of how much voltage gets to the actual power amp, and that's how they accomplish the sag circuit, is by regulating the voltage to the power amp. And so with this not being biased properly, it wasn't working. And once we drew the schematic out, we found the bad resistor and put a new one in there, and we're good to go. And these pictures here were the whole SAG circuit board. And I just went crazy. It took me a really long time to do this. It was hours and hours and hours into this whole process. But in the end of the day, then, once I had that as a roadmap, I call it, I was able to figure out that this little resistor right here was burned out.
No shit. Oh, wow.
So it was one part
Yeah.
holding up
And
the
that was
whole
it,
works.